Hi, I'm Already Kennedy, and this week we learned about the art of watching films, thematic elements, and fictional and dramatic elements. And a technique that film uses is symbolism, and symbolism is certain objects or elements that convey meaning, and they usually tie to the theme. It's a powerful layer in storytelling, and it can also come in patterns. Another important key to film is the characters. People like characters that are real, understandable, and believable. Also, the appearance and style matters, as well as the actions and dialogue, which is why casting is very important. So, yeah, characters are a huge part of films, and it's what make people love them so much because they relate and all that. And also, film has a certain structure that they follow. So starting with exposition, that's where the audience receives some backstory and the introduction to key characters, and usually an incident or change kind of sets the story in motion. And sometimes filmmakers start with a technique called in media res, I think, and that's where the story starts in the middle of the action, not in chronological order. So that's something that some people do. Second is the rising action, and that's where it builds to the climax, and it's usually the longest part of a film. It's where the character develops, as well as the additional characters might be added. There's usually changes in setting and new discoveries of their world. And yeah, then next is the climax, and this is usually like the turning point, stakes are raised. There's lots of suspense and like commotion. It usually leads to a lot of unanswered questions and confusion, like what's gonna happen next, how are the characters going to respond, just things like that. Next is the falling action, and that's what happens after the conflict, and so it's how the characters react, and it usually answers the questions from the climax. The characters are usually faced with like a difficult decision, and the worst has passed, and now they have to figure out how to advance. Finally is the denouement, and that's the ending. It reflects the theme usually, and the protagonists either fail or succeed. Majority of filmmakers, they gravitate to the audience's opinions of that part. And then I think what makes a good film is the depth the filmmakers put into it. Whether it's the characters, the settings, the storyline, the plot, I think the more depth there is into making it, and the more depth they put into the plot behind the scenes and all the little things leading up to it, that's what truly makes a film really good and makes the best. So, yeah, some things I learned.